Hello everyone, as promised by me, I'm here to make history easy for you. So, if you're new to history and you find history quite boring, this video is for you. History as a discipline, as a subject, sometimes seems to be very mundane and quite boring. But here we'll talk about certain scientific methodology of evidence reconstruction and how the timelines of history here work. So entire idea of this discussion is to make you understand that how the historical framework works. As in my classes, I always ask students what are the types of history and what are the basis of that. So here again, I'm gonna talk about the same things and I hope you people find it interesting. Tell me about your opinion in your comments and share this video. Now, moving forward, we must understand that history is not just a record, it's an inquiry. And how history as a word originated. History is originated from Greek word historia, where it says that knowledge is acquired by investigation. Therefore, history as a discipline is critical, humanistic, and rational. If we talk about who was the founder of history, then Herodotus is called as father of history. His ideas was basically focused on systematically collected material to test accuracy of its ideas. And if we talk about dialectical thinkers, then E.H. Carr is very famous. E.H. Carr's book, What is History, you must have read. It's about an unending dialogue between past and present. And if we talk about the judicial view of history, then we should think about Kallan. He was an Indian historian. He wrote the book Rajtarangni, where he talked about the history of Kashmir, which was free from biasness. According to him, the history should be free from any kind of prejudice. If we talk about cyclical and linear historians or thinkers, then we should talk about Hegel and Marx. They talk about history as class struggle. Therefore, if we are saying that history is an inquiry, not a record, then what this inquiry is all about? This inquiry is all about time, person, place, and my video must be interrupting its view is events. Now moving forward to the favorite questions of my class, that how the periodization in history is done. So basically, according to technical norms, there are three age system where we divide history into Stone Age, Bronze Age, and Iron Age. This classification is basically used for museum. And if we talk about tripartite division or the chronological division of history, then we divide history into ancient, medieval, and modern history. This periodization sometimes sees some kinds of biasness, but these are broad categorization. But generically, what we talk about when we talk about division of timelines, then prominently we define history as spectrum of time, where time and record, where on the basis of sources history is divided into three parts, and the one is prehistory, second is protohistory, and third one is historical period. This is the favorite question of my class, and everyone stumbles while answering this question. So, how this division is done? Basically, this division is done on the basis of sources or the records available. So, if we talk about prehistory, then this history has no written records. Its evidences are purely archaeological, where we analyze stone tools, fossils, and pottery. On the other hand, if we talk about proto-historical period, it was just the transitional period where the writing or the written material was existing, but it was undeciphered. When I say undeciphered, that it could not be interpreted. And what kind of evidences it had? It had undeciphered scripts, oral traditions, and its popular example is Harappa or the Indus Valley civilization. We should not keep Vedic culture here because Rig Vedas and other Vedas we find as written sources. And if we talk about historical period, that it is recorded past where the evidences, both written and archaeological, both kind of evidences are available widely. If we talk about proto-history, it's a bridge between the written and the unwritten part of history. But so some historians also keep the oral literacy or the oral transmission of history also in proto-historical period. Whereas in modern times, we consider the Vedic culture written here as part of historical period. As we are writing or talking about IKS, Indian Knowledge System, where we consider our oral culture to be a written culture. Similarly, if we talk about Chalcolithic pottery, it comes under proto-historic culture because it has certain symbols, but we are unable to decipher it. For Indus Valley civilization, there is a script, but it is yet to be read. Now, moving forward, we should talk about how memory or the oral tradition work as sources of history. So basically, when we talk about oral traditions, they are basically transmitted through a process where generation to generation learns same kind of information and that knowledge is passed on to another generation as testimony or message itself. It sometimes has memorized speech, sometimes it is eyewitness account, or sometimes it's just rumors. But all these oral traditions are social products which we use to understand truth and interpret our evidences. Let me talk about certain story I heard from my professors. So basically, in near Mathura, there was a mount called as Kankali Tila, and everyone used to say it's Kankali Tila. Kankali in English means skeleton, made up of skeleton. So once somebody excavated it and they definitely found their skeleton. So this was the symbol of oral traditions.